We are live coming here with a brand new Stir the Pod podcast show. I'm your host, Trevor, and tonight we are joined by Alex. Alex, how are you doing tonight?
Yo, yo, yo.
And I don't know where Andy is. I feel like he might still be swimming in that water, doggy paddling right now. He should be on tonight. I don't know where he's at, but we'll start off, the good old BMFEP. What else is new? The OGs all in for episode 17 recap show. Alex, I first want to say congratulations. We made it to the finals. We're here. We finally started in August. It's December. Congratulations. Initial thoughts tonight's episode.
Yeah, thanks, Trev. Congrats to you as well. And any other, I guess we're the only co-hosts that have made it to the final. Congrats to the live chat. Congrats to all the listeners. This is an important episode every single year. Maybe not necessarily of the pod, but of the season itself, where they finally tell us we're going to the final. Because we can always guess. Like I wouldn't have been surprised if, we were 5 guys and 5 girls going into the final. But instead they did like one more round. They did 4 and 4. And I mean, we're going to be starting the final episode 18. Like this is just a new era of the challenge. They're long ass seasons. We started in August. We're going to be running the final, I think, in January because of the way the holidays fall and everything. So we made it. We made it.
Yeah. Talking about the holidays and all that and the schedules and all that fiasco. Obviously, Hand Up was not on the pod last week. LVP, myself, obviously. But I wanted to ask you, there was a lot of chatter about this pod not even existing. Like, you guys said there wasn't going to be a pod this week. You guys said next week there's no pod, or like no episode today, no episode next week, no episode new. I mean, we're here. Where did you get that false information from?
I mean, they around like a week ago, maybe 8-9 days ago, there was like, and I checked it myself. I checked it on Guide on YouTube TV. It was listed as on December 18th, the same 90-minute time slot. It was listed as All-Stars 5 preview. Now, coincidentally, the All-Stars 5 like cast and release and everything came out this morning on the same day. But I would say within maybe 3 days after everybody was like noticed what the fuck is this on our schedule, it changed. So I don't know if it was just like it just like feels like classic challenge intern shit where it's like, they were probably meant to schedule something that was like post this article with the cast release on December 18th. They thought it meant post like the 90-minute like season preview or whatever. And that was on like TV Guide for like a couple days there. So it was a scare. When we recorded last week, we thought it was going to be the last one of the year, but we kind of got a bonus pod here now.
Well, I mean, does that mean the preview show is going to be on Christmas? Because that's kind of smart. And I don't want to talk too much about All-Stars 5 rivals. I guess we're going rivals, which I kind of bulge at, not going to lie. But I know we really haven't done that many podcasts. I know we said we would last season for All-Stars 4. I think we recorded 2-3 episodes because we said, hey, any episode Tony was on, we were going to record for.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make this pack right now. It is December 18th, 9:41 p.m. Eastern time. I say there was one person in the cast list that stood out to me.
Well,
you know where I'm going.
I think we save this for the end.
Save it for the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know where you're going.
Okay, but we have to talk about it.
We will.
I think I need to talk about it.
We will. Let's save a quick little All-Stars 5 deep dive at the end. But okay. I think we do 40 first.
Okay. Let's get the train back on the tracks. Mikey the Doctor in the chat. What else is new? Tommy Tsunami, welcome back. Great to see you as well. So let's dive right in. Episode 17. Tommy Tsunami streak. Another. I mean, we are on episode 15 now of the streak. Like
long,
impressive. This might be the end of the streak. I don't know. Are they going to have spoilers? Are they going to have Tori walk through the boat first?
They really can't. That's a good point.
This might be. We got to check our challenge historian. This has got to be the longest streak in challenge history, right? Like our streak being the longest streak. Also a new record for Tommy Tsunami's streak being a streak.
I would actually guess that it's not.
Wow, you don't think so?
I'm thinking around when the streak was formed, around that double agents, spies, lies era, and I feel like those seasons didn't really switch up the format much,
Mhm.
whereas Battle of the Eras did switch it mid-season, and I feel like that was when we maybe stopped for one episode or something. But I feel like the other seasons have had like longer stretches of the same thing. Now, I think the streak we're on has been very long. I would guess that it's maybe like an episode or two short. I don't know. We'll get our stats guys on it.
Yeah. Beep, boop, bop. All right. Come on. I mean, after the streak, we have, as Jordan says, the legendary location change.
Yeah.
Which I know for me, I bulge at the location change. I love it. Alex, your thoughts on a location change?
I love it. I think this one didn't. I guess my favorite part about the location change is the announcement to the cast, and I don't think this season's had the same pop as it has had before. And maybe it's because TJ did it at the elimination ground. I like it more when they do it in the house and everybody's kind of a little more like comfortable in their own like kind of house and they can just kind of react to it. I love when they get, where is Argentina? Is Germany a country or is that a city? Like I love when they do all that stuff. We didn't really get that type of reaction this time. They were just more excited. But I did love on tonight's episode, I did love the actual location change. I love getting on the little plane, flying there. I love the new house. And you're only there for really half an episode since we're going right into the final next week. Like this was a short time that we were in this new location, but I liked it. I always liked it.
They went from Vietnam to Argentina, correct?
On this season?
Yeah.
No. They went to the Philippines.
Philippines to where now?
No, Vietnam to the Philippines.
Oh, okay. Why I was thinking Argentina? Maybe I was just watching old stuff.
I just said Argentina as like a joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My one problem is I wish it was more drastic of a change.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like I wish it was like, Vietnam to Iceland or something. Like I think that's more classic. Like where it's just like, oh shit, here we go. Like I'm picturing like all the times like they're climbing up a goddamn mountain or whatever. I think Bananas like falls on the ground or whoever. Like I just think, or like, I mean, War of the Worlds was mostly in this. I mean, that final sucks.
Well, yeah, and on last week's episode, TJ did say we're going to somewhere with a lot less green, like implying that it would be this big, like scenic change. But I mean, like if you look at tonight's daily, if you would have told us it was still in Vietnam, like it looked really similar.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I think one of my favorites was, I think this has only happened one time. We can also get our stats guys on this or anybody in the chat. I think they've only done the rare double location change one time. And I think that was on Rivals. I'm almost positive they did the location change before maybe the last Guys Daily. And remember they went to that house where they got into that big fight and the soda pour and the piano. But then they did the second location change to like a cabin in the woods. That was just like right before the final. I think it was everybody who was in the final was there. And I love that. I love when they do the double location change. That's
you know what else is so smirky is just, I guess this is just challenge travel. I see Mikey the Doctor saying they don't have the money to pay for 9 first-class tickets. What was the season where CT missed like the first 3 episodes because his like passport wouldn't come through? And like they're just like, you're good. Episode 4, you just stroll in. Like
that was Dirty 30.
Yes, like he just gets like a free pass. I think the same thing was with like something happened with, what season was it with Bananas and his partner where it was like him and like in the grave or whatever. Like somebody actually got eliminated and he doesn't even have a partner. And they're like, Bananas, all right, you keep it coming. Like that's classic too.
I love that. And it's been documented like before on other occasions where people like I think John A was maybe supposed to be on Fresh Meat too, and she was like at the airport and she didn't have her passport or whatever, and so they just like kicked her off. So when they have people that are like that kind of low on the totem pole, they're just like, yeah, we'll find someone else to replace you. But if it's a CT, if it's a Bananas, it's like, we'll just give you guys a pass.
I'm surprised they didn't just push production back like 2 weeks, like for those guys.
Well, they did so Jordan could finish his little car race that he was in.
God, I mean, yeah, he literally showed up late. I mean, God, that picture of him this year looking like Glenn Powell, like that was so smirk.
What is this, Twisters?
God, I thought it was. He had the hat on, he got the white T-shirt. I mean, he looked good.
And he was next to Tori, kind of low top. All right, let's get into the daily.
What about the dinner?
Oh, so the dinner was good.
I mean, it was kind of like stressful. Like, can't we just all get along? I mean, Banana stirring the pot. What else is new? No surprise there. But like, I mean, these people are so dramatic. Like, shut up. Like, it's the last elimination. We know there's a divide. Just like live life.
Yeah, I guess for me, when I think about this kind of moment that they had at the dinner table, I think for this part to be good, for it to be entertaining, I think it needs to go one way or the other. I think it either needs to be like a rivals where the cast genuinely hates each other, and this is back in the day when they actually kind of allowed them to get more rowdy. But like the cast hates each other so much that like there is no like camaraderie or no like team dinner or anything like that. And it's just like drama, or it's something like I want to say like Free Agents where they were all the guys were in the hot tub, like looking out on the mountain, where it's just like totally like we've all kind of gone through it, but like we're here, let's just deal with it. This one was one where like you can still feel the tension with Bananas and Tori and Michelle and like it's really just Bananas versus like all the girls. But I feel like it just kind of creates this like awkward setting. I want them to all either be vibing and like happy about it or everybody mad at each other.
They needed to cut the tension. And the only way you could have cut the tension was give these people more BK. Like, could you imagine if the king just walked in? Like, that would have been great. Like, if TJ was in the king costume, oh my God, new shorts. Like, he just rips off the mask and it's Tej.
God.
How awesome would that be? Yeah, I'm a little also jumping all over the place again. I'm a little disappointed I missed the BK episode. That was Smirk City.
That was incredible. The crowns, fries.
They even sung the song. They're like, Tyler was like, BK, you rule. I mean, the little robot saying, you rule. And then like they take off. I mean, come on. Great product placement by
it was smirky.
DME for that. All right, so let's talk about the daily. This daily, I don't think we've ever seen anything like this before. Essentially, people are running kind of like up this mountain-esque thing, whatever this fortress is. I think that's what they called it. And they're picking up these bricks and then bringing them back and then dropping 2 bricks at a time. And then once they get to 4 bricks, they can start bringing these puzzle pieces up. And then they got to solve, I think there was like 10 puzzle pieces, kind of like they were like sticks. And you basically just have to bring all 10 pieces up and then you becomes a puzzle. So then you redo the whole 10. How is this 10 done? So thoughts on this one? Alex.
I liked it. I think it was not like an awesome daily, but I think this is one that this type of daily can play at any point in the season. You can do it. I'd actually prefer it when there's like a lot of people. But I feel like this point where it's like the last daily of the season, I think that still works. It was definitely long, but I feel like that's more editing, more production. Like I feel like they could have just cut down how much of the episode this took up. But I like it because it's one of those dailies where it's endurance, it's just a little bit of strength, but it's more like just kind of staying focused. Like not wanting to quit, solving a stupid puzzle at the end, and just like getting through it. This is one that any like I'm confident in saying anybody on this season could have finished aside from Anissa, but she ruins every stat. But like every single person on the season could have finished it. It's just a matter of like doing it a little faster than the person next to you, going at a little bit of a faster pace, staying a little bit more focused. And I always like those. It was kind of similar to almost like last week's elimination, where it's
Mhm.
like puzzle and you're just going back and forth. Obviously, it was a little bit of a longer course here and more to do. But I like this type of daily. It wasn't like an A+ for me, but I just like when they do something like this.
This was very checkpoint number 1 of a final-esque.
Yes.
Like, it kinda gave me that vibe of, "Oh, they finished the puzzle? Alright, let me run around the island to do something else next." So we'll see if something's like that. I thought it was alright. I don't think it was crazy. I don't think it was amazing. It was alright,
It
but
kind of seems like you're down on it.
no, I just, we're 17 episodes through the season. We've kinda seen the same old shit. It's, "Hey, let me run and do a puzzle," and, you know, it is what it is. So,
Yeah. We've seen it plenty of times.
yeah. So, from this, you got Jordan winning for the guys, and Jenny winning from the girls, which I was surprised by. Jenny, we were all, I feel like all of us were really high on at the start of the season. I think we
Mhm.
all had her in our top 3, 4, in our power rankings. And there was that one like mini final or mini like what did they call it? Did they call it the mini final essentially? It was like the halfway point where she
Yeah.
basically gassed out. And that's where I was very worried about Jenny.
Well, and she also almost lost to Anissa
Correct.
early on.
The tossing one, yes. So seeing her win, I think I think that was huge tonight. And I think it does a lot for her confidence too.
It does. I'm still just like kind of confused about the whole asthma situation as it relates to Jenny. Like, I mean, she won a final. Was
Yeah.
that? And she it was never mentioned on that season.
Well, now we just always have to have a good story for her winning,
True, true.
but
But I'm guessing it was just like a thing that maybe even during the final she was dealing with, but I mean, she's obviously incredibly in shape and like incredibly athletic, so maybe she just knows how to like handle it more than like we would maybe expect her to. But like we have seen, the Anissa elimination today. But I'm glad to have Ginny in the final. She's a fucking machine, and I'm glad she won this.
yeah, no, absolutely. Jordan winning. Is Jordan I mean, obviously all the guys are now in the finals. Jordan's got to be like minus 500 to win,
Has
right?
to be. He has to be.
He looks dialed. Like he is locked in. Call him Chris Kyle. Like he is dialed.
He's just the so fucking good at everything. He's locked in all the time. And, we're at a point where the 4 guys in the final, yes, they're all good. They're all good at certain things. Like, I think all of them have, like, think about what this final would look like if it was a 3-man final and Jordan just wasn't there. That's like
I think it's
very,
even.
that's very interesting.
Yeah, I
But,
think that is very even.
but but Jordan is just kind of levitating above it all. We saw tonight in a challenge that has impacts on the final because the last place gets a penalty. And we basically saw that, like, if you look at the other 3 guys, like, and do they have a shot against Jordan? It's kind of like Kylan does. He definitely has a shot, but he's also never done a final. And that's a huge thing. Derek has a shot against him from an endurance standpoint, but Derek just has also never been in a real final, and he's maybe not good at some of the weight stuff. And then Bananas obviously I would say has the best like shot. Like I think he has the second best odds, but he's 42. Like
Let me go this route with you with Bananas. And I hate to even say this, but is his time done? Like, I don't think he can win this final. Like, you take Jordan out of it, yes, I think it's a fair game, and that basically becomes like any season Jordan's on moving forward, you have to rank Jordan above Bananas. You have to. So, is this like who can Bananas beat at this point? Everybody but Jordan?
I think he can beat a lot of people. I mean, it's what we just said. Like, it's just Jordan is
That good.
on paper better than everyone.
Yeah. And then Mikey the Doctor writes, I mean, also with Bananas, like the whole karma points, he's fucked.
Yeah.
There's no chance. And I'd be curious of what these karma points actually come out to be. Like, could you imagine just like, oh, every karma point you get is a 5-second penalty? I'm also picturing like, you know, what's you're gonna be so smirk and just like the challenge just fucking it up completely is like you heard like Kara today at the end of episode. Oh, Rachel, she's played a great game. 5 karma points. Bananas, terrible game. 1. What if it was like reversed by accident? It was like 1 point was like you want to be a lower number than a higher number.
And Bananas just has a huge head start.
Yes, Bananas has like, I mean, how many people have been eliminated? Like 33? No, how many people are 32?
32, yeah.
Bananas has 32 points.
God.
God, that'd be awesome. So, well, we'll get into that. And then last place for the guys with a disadvantage in the final is Derek. So let's talk about that before we talk about last place for the women. Derek finishing last. Penalty for the final. To me, so fucking stupid. Like, this is not part of the final. Why are we punishing him for the final?
I don't like it at all. And I think the question that went through my mind was like, when we saw in the preview the guys were doing the challenge, the question in my mind was like, why do they need to do the challenge? They've already all kind of secured their spot. We've seen before when they kind of alternate between guys and girls. Sometimes the last one, like whatever gender is already done, is like already like doesn't have to compete. And so I think they could have just done something similar, but been like, guys, if you want to compete for maybe the sake of saving women on the other side, you can. You leave the final out of it. I just never liked that part.
Yeah, to me, that makes absolutely no sense. But, folks, we do have another guest who is joining us now. 24 minutes late. This might have to be a time penalty or something. We might have to put him in the penalty box. But let's bring him in. There he is. Andy, welcome. Care to explain 24 minutes late, not to mention didn't respond to one text message tonight to all of us. And on top of that, you didn't tell us anything. You left us 0 dark 30 completely.
Yep.
That's it. Yup.
So I think this needs to be quick and easy. I'll kind of defer it to you guys. So 8 o'clock rolls around. I get ready to roll. I do the kickoff shot. First commercial happens. I think to myself, you know what? I'm going to close my eyes for a little bit. I woke up 10 minutes ago. So,
I mean, get his ass out of here. I mean, that is unbelievable. I am furious right now. I mean, this is an STP first. He's sleeping on us.
You don't make it 17 episodes, 6 months to make the final, and just take a nap halfway through.
I mean, this is bananas. Johnny Bananas. All right, what was he showing? What is this? This little nap. I mean, his little monitor. I mean,
it's I'm withdrawing myself from here. This is courtesy of my little ring here. track. There's literally proof that this is what happened. It is unbelievable. When I woke up, it was like one of those when you wake up after like drinking too much and you just get that big rush of just like anxiety of like, what just happened? Oh my God. I woke up and saw my clock and I was like, I can't believe this just happened.
So you have no idea what happened tonight?
No.
Come on. This is an STP first.
Yeah. Slept through the app. I did the kickoff shot. Ready to roll. Yeah. I guess that's just what a happy hour with OE will do to you. The higher level guys will understand. But it's up to you guys, but I'm good to withdraw myself from this point on. With, if you guys allow it, an LVP pick of myself, no MVP pick.
I don't even. I'm under pressure right now. This is like TJ make a decision right now. Alex,
I mean,
what are your thoughts? I mean, I feel like he's got to do it. Here's what I say. We can kick you from the pod right now, and I'm fine with that. Your punishment, though, is a solo pod. I think the crowd would love to see you do a solo pod. Anissa round 2 Legends Tour. No. Fezzy Legends Tour.
No.
You sleeping on us, Andy. You fell asleep. We needed you tonight.
You weren't even here last week.
Don't make me pull up the numbers again. And now these numbers are just going to add to the collection. You're just like,
I'm just,
I'm one-upping me every single time. It's like you're about to get that first down and then holding, let's move Andy back 10 yards. Like, I mean, come on.
I'm being the bigger man, coming on here, letting you havies, letting the AWLs know what's going on.
Alex, what do you think? What should we do?
I think we take the picks because I think they're accurate picks. But at this point, he hasn't seen the show.
I know.
So, I think we just go back to BMFE.
Wow.
I also agree. Like, this isn't me trying to bombard the pod. This is me just coming on, explaining myself, and then expecting to hop off. Fell asleep.
I'm just stunned. Like, what was going through your mind? Oh, let me just take a little snooze during the challenge?
Yeah, well, you know how these damn episodes start off. Like, it's all weak. You know, we did the location change, and I was expecting some butt shots. Got no butt shots. And then commercial rolls around. I was like, all right, let me just close my eyes a little bit. And
next so you didn't even see the Kenny Mont? Oh, shit.
Watch it.
We'll get into that.
All right, we gotta keep this thing going.
Yeah,
all right.
We gotta keep this thing going. Andy, thank you for explaining yourself. We understand. But you'll be up. This just makes an excuse now. You'll be wired for the next couple hours. So we'll see you at 11 o'clock SBS Live Watch. So we'll see you there.
And I'm already not going to be able to sleep tonight. This is going to be miserable.
11 o'clock. We'll see you there.
All right. GG's, AWLs. Bye-bye.
Boop. Wow. Alex?
All right. Just insane. Let's get back on the track, and let's get back on the track fast.
I don't know if I can. Like,
we have to. We can't let that throw us off.
All week, he was saying, you do not want to go home, Trev. You do not want to go home. He fucking went home. And there's no excuse. There was no excuse at all. Like, I had work last week. Hand up, my fault, whatever. And he's just sleeping on us, Brian. He's sleeping on us.
That would literally be the equivalent of us starting, or the challenge starting next week's episode, and everybody looks around. Everybody looks around and they're like, wait a minute, Kylan's not here. And they're all like, oh yeah, Kylan's still sleeping. He's eliminated.
Didn't that happen? Like, wasn't there like a season where, like, was it Darrell? He used to just like walk around, or who was it that like would leave like the house and they like stop production for like a few days?
That was Darrell and Derek. They'd go hook up with chicks.
Yes. They would come back like 5 days later. That's incredible. All right, back on the tracks. We were talking about Derek finishing last, and we thought it was bullshit how he has a time penalty for the final. The final should be separate from the last daily. So we talked about that. Now, last place, it came down to, even though Cara had a time penalty, she made it through. And then it became down to Michelle and Cara. Or not Cara, Tori. Michelle and Tori. And Tori, after dominating the season, last place.
Yeah. I mean, she has been dominating. She's won the most dailies since they went individual. Tori gets last. And, I mean, a big save by Michelle. And I mean that because she wasn't a target. I feel like a lot of times you see in other seasons where somebody barely, doesn't get last, but then like the vote or whatever the format is and sends them in anyway. This was an example of Michelle was right there and could have gone into elimination and probably would have lost this against Cara, but she wins and ends up not having to go in and makes the final because of it. And so that was a huge one. And then Tori going in last. I mean, Tori was a heavy hitter all season. She goes into elimination. Her second one of the season. She beat Casey earlier. I don't think she had done any other ones. And then that leaves Jordan basically in charge of picking between the other two targets of Rachel and Cara.
So between those two, I know Alex and I, we were kind of texting back and forth during this time of who Jordan's going to vote in between those two. You were right away saying Cara was going to get voted in.
Yeah. I just think, go ahead.
No. I just thought if I'm Tori and I have no idea what this elimination is going to be, because obviously this one was a little different where it was straight up like you're not going down in the sand. Like you needed to make a decision. If I was Tori, I would have been like, hey, like, let me see what the elimination is first. And I want to go and see who I think is better then. Obviously, the scenario changed when TJ did that. I still think I would have gone against Rachel. And I thought Jordan would honor that over his alliance with Rachel. But it seemed like, to what your point was, Tori was like, no, like, seriously, like, I don't care who I go against, which I was surprised by.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think it was just a situation where Tori looked at both of the two girls and she knew that they were both incredibly strong, however you want to rank them and whatever, competition they get thrown. But they're both really strong. And I think she has a lot of respect for both of them. And she's not really rivals with either one of them. I think she's more kind of buddy this season with Cara. And you could say that's maybe why she would pick Rachel. But I just think she's in a position where she's like, I'm going to go in no matter what. I'm going to do my hardest no matter what. It's going to be tough as hell no matter what. So I just kind of want to stay out of it, to be honest. And I think like I kind of expected it to go how it went, where you knew there was going to be some sort of montage-y thing where it was like Jordan and Cara, they're on better terms. They used to be rivals and now they're friends. But I just think it came down to what they had not just shown us last episode, but a few times throughout the season, which was like Jordan and Rachel have always had kind of this like hush hush, quiet handshake. Obviously, she's playing with bananas, and so that's opposite of Jordan. But like, she still has this deal with Jordan to where like they're never going to send each other in. And I think both of those, Jordan and Rachel are just very similar. And like they play with respect and honor. And both, like, I think if the roles were reversed, Rachel would have done the same if it was anybody but bananas. And I think it was just a matter of Jordan being like, this is a tough spot for me to be in. Everybody at this table recognizes that I have to pick a person, and it's just going to be Cara.
Yeah. One thing I want to talk about before the elimination, before we go to Sinister, and I've seen this in the chat too many times tonight. Tommy's been knocking at our door. Jenny's puzzle was wrong. Did you see that, Alex?
I did not see that.
Yeah,
I
Tom,
think
you might have to explain on that. I saw you typing that out like 2 or 3 times. I thought it was right. It looked right, and TJ blew the horn. So like, if it was wrong, then it was hit TJ's fault. Um,
most of those examples are editing. Like I think it's pretty. It happens a lot. Like where we get the snapshots of, this puzzle was wrong, but it's just a lot of different stuff that can happen in terms of when they show different scenes in the progress of a puzzle. So
yeah, the one thing else that happened, I forget who finished third for the girls. It was who was it?
it would have been Rachel or Kara.
Oh, maybe it's who finished second. Sorry.
Rachel or Kara. Because Ginny was first, the other two girls were last, Tori and Michelle.
Oh, it was Kara. Kara got second because she didn't finish last. Kara, she didn't knock her puzzle down. Did you notice that? Like she finished her puzzle and then she just walked away. If I'm the opposing person, wouldn't I just look at the colors?
Yeah, did other people knock theirs down? I must have
I,
missed
I
that.
think I think Jordan did, and I don't think anybody else from what I've saw was like, I feel like that's always the classic thing you see check, 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 and then it's done,
Yeah.
and then you just like swipe it or whatever. I'm almost positive somebody just walked away and was like, I'm done. And maybe, she walked back or whatever, knocked it down. I thought it was weird for that. So, well, I was hoping for Tommy to write back pretty quick, but I guess not. Guess he's
on out.
guess he's guess he's in the redemption house. Oh, not responding to what we said. All right, Tommy, early LVP nomination could be for you. Sinister. Honestly, Alex, this boat kind of scary.
It was very scary.
Scary. This remind when with Kara in it as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Rivals 2, scariest elimination of all time.
Yeah.
The ones with chairs, no elimination. So stupid. But let's talk about this challenge. This reminded me a lot of The Guardian. Great movie. Everybody should check it out. I think it's on Hulu right now. Kevin Costner and Ashton Kutcher. What?
I'm just out on Costner, but it's a separate story.
It's a Coast Guard movie. It's a great movie. I'm all in for it. I think there's another person in the STP family that really likes that movie. I think it might be Adam Meadows' his friend. Andy might like it. I don't know. But the whole elimination was who can survive above water the longest, which, I mean, it is just this elimination sucks. Like, oh my God. Could you imagine Alex doing this? Like, you are just, first off, 2 hours just floating above water. And then TJ's like, all right, you got to put your hands up and shit like that. Like, TJ, what are we doing?
Terrible. I mean, I like the elimination. I like the kind of the setup of it, but it's just one of those where it's physically draining, it's mentally draining, hours and hours at a time. I was actually wondering, like, would it have been worse if they didn't do all the gimmicks? If they didn't do, hands up,
I agree.
up, and just did it because they got to like what, close to 3 hours probably with the gimmicks. They would have done it without it, probably closer to like 4 or 5.
Oh yeah, it would have been.
And like I feel like from a viewer's perspective, we don't really care, right? Because there's no difference to us in terms of like if it flashes at 3 hours or 5 hours. But like if given the choice, we would want it to say 5 hours to just be like, oh man, look how long they're doing it. But it was just one of those where you knew exactly what it was going to be like. It wasn't going to be like super entertaining because they're just in the water there. They had some stuff with the snakes to try to spice it up, but you knew you were just going to have to buckle up and kind of just ride it out with it.
Yeah. This challenge, like for me, is definitely the hardest that I think we've seen in a few years. Like, I don't remember a challenge or elimination, excuse me, that has been that hard. They did the flashback a couple seasons ago with bananas. holding up what was like the milk or whatever for like 5-6 hours against Natalie. And like that elimination, oh my God, like that would kill. And now I think the question, we obviously saw Tori beating Cara. What does this do to Tori for the final now? I mean, she is shot. Like this murdered her.
Yeah, it's like a almost too much of a disadvantage. Has there ever been something like this where they went straight to the final, probably like 12 hours after the fact? Like, I don't like that.
No, normally I feel like once you get to the final, you get like a day off
Yeah,
like, between the last
there have been times. Remember, wasn't it? I guess this is maybe the step before. Remember on X's 2 when they did the location change, and I think it was maybe right before the last pole wrestle. Remember, Nani got really drunk, and she wanted a Reese peanut butter cup. Remember that? She was just hammered in the bedroom talking about Reese's. But I feel like the day, maybe after or before that challenge, they were just like walking around Norway, like they had a day off. I liked when they do that.
Yeah.
You're just completely getting rid of that. They're all sleeping on there. Like Tori would not have been at a disadvantage if this was like like probably 75% of the eliminations they had this season, because they're not super physically draining. This one was all that.
Talking about X's 2, you should watch that reunion show. That one's actually hilarious.
Is it good? I've been on kind of a reunion kick lately.
God, I wish the reunion shows were what they used to be. Like they used to be just all like,
oh yeah,
hammered. Like, I mean, Wes was hammered during the which one was Rivals 3? That's that might be my favorite reunion show. Is like when Wes just chalk her up. Like, I mean, there's so many great moments for that on Paramount Plus. This is not a sponsored ad, but you should definitely go get Paramount Plus. Has all the reunion shows from like season 10 to 39 or whatever it is. So, but yeah, like we said, Tori beats Cara, and she's now the last girl in for the finale. So let's talk about the finale. Men's side, Bananas, Jordan, Derek, and Kylan. Pretty good 4.
I like this 4 a lot. I think it's a good representation of this season and what it's supposed to be. And I think in kind of 2 ways. The first way being the whole eras format. I know we have 2 guys from era 2 and none from era 1, but if you think about it, Bananas is like as close to era 1 as you could have been, which leaves basically 1 guy per era. And I saw somebody on Twitter, I think, point this out, that basically like the 4 guys in the final are interesting because they all kind of represent like a sort of like stereotype or archetype of challenger, where you have, if you look at the 4 guys, you have Bananas, who's the icon. He's the face of the show. However good you want to argue he is, like that, his like profile is just like being the face of the show. Jordan is like the best to ever do it, just like all around the best at insert any given thing. And then Kylan is like the up and comer, right? He's the new guy. He's the kind of the face of the new generation. And then Derek is the underdog.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of finals have an underdog. And so I like that we have kind of the 4 sort of types of challengers fighting it out. I really like this Final 4.
No, I would 100% agree with that. I think, we basically got, like you said, all 4 eras. I mean, Bananas teeters that line. And I think they're all interesting. I love, everybody has a unique story. I mean, Bananas is just adding to the collection of why he's the greatest. Jordan's trying to become the greatest. And then you have Derek, which would be a great story to see him win. And then Kylan kind of being that new, I hate to throw it out there, trying to be that new face of the challenge, that new era.
Yeah. I mean, Kylan's trying to do basically what, the Corey's, Nelsons, Tonys of the world, like that sort of era. Kylan's trying to just kind of overcome them all. I like the final four guys. Let's do the final four girls now that we know who they are: Jenny, Michelle, Rachel, and Tori. So for this one, we actually we could have had one from each era. We have none from era two from era four. If I'm thinking about these four girls, the way I think about them and kind of the path that they took, Rachel is the most interesting one, maybe the most like easy to root for, just because she's carried the torch of an entire era, and they're going to play that up over the next couple episodes. Like, I looked it up. The last person to go home on era one went home on October 9th. It's been over 2 months, and it's going to be 3 months since somebody on her era that she started this season with went home. And so, like, the fact that she's kind of been carrying the torch for them is incredible. Tori, I think what she's trying to do is, like, to me, it's like she's trying to enter that realm. I mean, they showed the Mount Rushmore last episode. Like, she already has a ring. She has a lot of impressive moments on her resume, but she's trying to basically beat, in a season, Rachel, Cara, Jenny, Laurel, like all these legends, to herself become one, I guess, is kind of the way I think about it. And then Michelle, I feel like, is the underdog on the girl side. She's gone into 3 eliminations. She's definitely like the least physical of them all. But she's scrappy. She keeps fighting. And then Jenny's just like, I don't even know what her thing would be. She's like this, I mean, new face. Like, she's young. She's only done 2 seasons, I think, before this. And she's good. She's stacked. She's intimidating. So I guess her thing would be kind of like being the new, like legend girl, potentially.
The one thing that I find very interesting with this finale is, before the season started, we were ranking like, oh, who has the best girls? Who has the best guys? Era 2.
Yeah.
We all said Era 2 had the best girls and the worst overall guys.
Yeah.
And it's funny how Era 2 has 2 guys in the final and no girls in the finals.
No girls in the final. And think about, like, I mean, we said the trio of girls that they had between Cara, Laurel, and Emily at the start of the season was insane. And think about if somebody would have told you, without saying anything else, that, like, hey, Aviv is actually really good. She's going to make it really far. And you would have said, like, all right, we already have Cara, Laurel, Emily. Aviv is also really good, apparently. Kellyanne is Kellyanne. Like, you would have guessed it, like, I don't know. You don't know how the season's going to play out, but you would have guessed like 2, maybe 3 outside chance for era 2 girls making the final.
Yeah.
And then, none of them. That is kind of crazy.
Yeah. So I'm excited, though. I don't know when this finale is actually going to be. And,
we'll get into that.
Well, should we just get into that now, or segments?
Into the holidays?
Yes. Like, well, what the fuck is going on?
Well, we touched on it a little bit. I think we know that, a week from now is Christmas. 2 weeks from now is New Year's Day. I think they're taking 2 weeks off.
There's no way.
What do you mean? What would they do?
I think we're having a Christmas episode.
We're not having a Christmas episode.
Let me ask you this. If we have a Christmas episode, are you in to record?
Of course.
Holiday spirits?
Yeah, we have to. But, I mean, there's just no chance.
What about New Year's?
I would do New Year's. I just don't think there's any chance either.
God.
I think we're back on January 8th. 2 back-to-back, probably 2 episodes. Better not be 3. And then we crush the final.
Okay.
So we'll get into that 3 weeks. That's I don't know if there's ever been a 2-week break. I mean, again, I still agree with it because of the way they're both on Wednesday. But
think about this too. We've already had 2 weeks off earlier this season too.
yeah,
So we've had a month off.
I think they did do the right thing. I don't know if they planned it this way, but they did do the right thing in terms of just like making sure we got to the final, right? Because I feel like the alternative would have been we have to remember who's the target, who has a penalty, all this shit. We're forgetting that if 2 weeks go by without the challenge. But we'll at least remember, like, these are the 8 people. They're in the final.
You know what else I bulge at with this next episode? If it's going to be on like New Year's or January 8th or whatever. Me and you fighting over who's going to say, honestly, this was the best episode of the year. Andy's not going to listen to this part, so he's going to be so confused when we say best episode of the year, and he's going to be like, "What are you talking?" And then he'll have that little smirk on his face.
We can't give it away though. We can't give it away too easily.
No. We'll just be like, I was thinking about it. Best episode of the year.
I think we do it a few times throughout the episode, actually.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Segments.
All right, so we have this day in challenge history on. It's going to be a tough one, I think. This day in challenge history was the reunion of War of the Worlds 2.
Okay.
Can you name either of the 2 hosts of that season? Or of that reunion, sorry.
Oh, there was 2?
Yes.
Was it a guy and a girl?
Yes.
Was it The Miz?
No. Guy and girl, black and white.
Vernon Davis?
No, but an athlete.
Victor Cruz?
No.
Cruz did a reunion, right?
No, Cruz did a spinoff, I think.
Yeah, but I thought he did a reunion show.
He might have. That might have been his foot in the door.
An athlete?
Mm-hmm.
Guy or girl?
Guy.
Let
me hold on. NBA champion.
NBA? Master P?
God.
I'm not looking at the chat. I see it might be Vernon Davis, but it's not him.
Not Master P.
Swaggy?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Swaggy P.
Justina?
Yes. How did you get that? You were looking.
I was thinking.
Looking.
What?
You were Googling.
No, my phone's right here.
God. I think the deal with that reunion was Justina was it Justina or Justine?
I think it's Justina.
And then is it Valentine or Valentina? I don't know. But what's her name? I think she was like doing a lot, basically all the talking, and Swaggy P was just kind of sitting next to her.
Yeah.
Why is this guy here? He said like, he would add like, oh, Turbo, you're crazy, man, like that kind of commentary.
Yeah, she was doing color.
She was really driving it.
Yeah.
That's kind of smirk.
Justina was, she did a few spinoffs and stuff.
Yeah.
And she was trying to get her foot in the door of the challenge a little bit. Her and Bananas kind of had like a little like, we all know Bananas smashed that. Let's be real.
Jesus.
So.
Bananas, he knows how to recruit. Let's just say that.
He does. He's got that 5-star recruiting.
God.
All right, what else we got?
All right, I think we get into MVP, LVP.
MVP, LVP. All right.
I think as we wait for the order, I think we do a quick little All-Stars 5.
All right. So the floor is mine to do my proposal.
Go ahead.
All right. So here's what I'm thinking. For all stars, it's live every Wednesday, right? Is what I think I saw.
Allegedly, yeah.
Really don't want to keep recording on Wednesdays. I don't know how many I got left in me, Tej. But there's one person who's on this season that I'm fired up about. I got to see a trailer before I can commit.
It's fair.
But Dario being back, I'm all in. I love Dario. God, we had his brother on the pod.
We really did.
Him and Ashley Kelsey, she's bad. I'm all in for that team. That's the early CVS 5 preview show for me. They're my number one team. They might be the worst team, but they are bad.
So here's where I stand. When you said earlier on the pod that you were thinking of one person, I obviously went to the same guy, Dario. I think Dario, I feel like, is very BMFE for any of our OG listeners, or even like pre-podcast almost. Like, we've always just kind of bulged at how he is just kind of there. And he seems like he's a cool guy. People get along with him. But I mean, they had the one season, I think it was the last one he did, Dirty 30, where the highlights that they showed of Dario were him sleeping. Him like sleeping around the house, avoiding any, confrontation at all. And like that in and of itself is smirky. Like you said, we did have Rafi on the pod. Anybody, you guys should go listen to that pod. No ads. But Dario he's up there on just like the weirdest but coolest people to be on the challenge. I think he probably, more than anybody from the challenge fandom, drew reactions today of like, why the fuck is this guy on the show? But we bulge at him. He's a fun guy. I think
Dario with the greatest what if moment in challenge history.
the pillow throw?
The pillow never seen.
Like, what if they showed it?
Yes.
Wasn't
that on our Mount Rushmore of what ifs? What if they showed?
I think you brought it up.
Honorable mention, probably.
And Dario had a knack for doing shit, but also just like kind of sliding under the radar. Like, he was, I think, the first one to go to the invasion or go to the Oasis on Invasion. He was the first one to pull a double cross on Dirty 30, like just random shit like that. I bulge at him. It's a good idea to withhold anything until we see a trailer, and I'll just kind of leave it at that.
Maybe we'll have to do like the one. What season did we do the live trailer?
Oh, the fans love the live watch.
Hold off, not watch. Oh wait till you see this.
Watch it.
So smirk. All right, MVP, LVP time. It looks like the order tonight is going to be me, then Alex. So my MVP tonight, I mean, this is a chalky pick. I mean, how can I go wrong with kind of the GOAT this season? Another win, Jordan. I mean, Jordan is just dominating this season. Picking up the daily win. He's in cruise control. He is a man on the mission. I'd even say, like, if he were to jump out of an airplane and like broke his leg, I think he might still win this challenge. So I'm going
to done that before.
God, check.
Oh, Jordan's a good MVP pick. I'm going to go with his ex-fiance.
Wow.
I'm going to go with Tori. You had one winner of a daily, one winner of an elimination. Not a whole lot of stuff besides that. Tori made it to the final. She is, I mean, I can't say favorite because of the fact that she had to go into elimination. She's going to be fucking exhausted. But like Cara said, she had those flotation devices to help her out in the elimination. So I think some of her past winnings were paying dividends there. But she's in the final. and I'm glad to see her there. And I think Tori's had a really good season, so I'm going Tori MVP.
All right. LVP, who you got?
So I know LVP, we don't usually do repeats.
Oh God.
And I know this already has an LVP.
What do you mean? There hasn't been an LVP pick yet.
Well, I'm going to give my LVP to Andy.
Oh, I think you should. We're not counting that pick. That's bullshit.
Well, no, I think we count it because it was for himself.
So let me go this. We've already broken SDP history tonight. Dare he be the first LVP with 3 votes tonight?
Triple the three-peat? Not to be confused with the 3 Heat on the rewatchables.
So you pick Andy, or Andy picks Andy. You pick Andy, and I pick Andy.
No, I think we all do Andy.
So there's 3 LVP picks, and they're all Andy.
Should we just lock that in?
I think we lock that in, and I think the Chot would have to agree with us. I
think we lock it in.
You give your reason first.
I mean, I think I would have gone. I would have gone with him before he even got on the pod, and then the explanation of taking a nap. I mean, who is he, Dario? So I'm just gonna, like Wes said, chalk her up.
Yeah, I mean, sleeping out of all things, I wish he would have just said, "Hey, like DR yanked me aside. I had to go grab a drink or whatever," like something like that. But the fact sleeping on us, I mean,
we're 17 episodes in. You don't want to go home now. Stay the fuck awake.
Well, I mean, he was home sleeping, so I just think, I don't know. It just, honestly, Alex, and I hate to say this, it's kind of a slap in the face to us.
It is.
He's quitting on us. And I hate quitters.
I feel like Frank when he got bitch slapped by Knight at the Rivals 2 reunion.
Come on.
Live on TV.
I do. I mean, I feel like,
now that was a shit show.
We all have our reasons. Everybody here has made a mistake and missed an episode. Alex had a few work trips. I had one last week. Andy had a few. This is unexcusable. Like, this is like, I'm still in shell shock. I just think we need a punishment. There has to be a punishment. Maybe we'll put up a poll. I liked Mikey the Doctor right now. Has to wear a Fezzy Tennessee jersey on the pod. I kind of bulge at that.
Or, depending on what we decide to do for All-Stars 5, there is, speaking of Fezzy, he's on All-Stars 5.
No, he's not.
So is there some sort of, I'm trying to think, is there some sort of, we could make him do every episode that Fezzy's on?
God, there's no way. Him trying to do this technology, come on.
No, he falls asleep.
God. Speaking of technology and all that stuff, what's this little, like, episode 16 5-second episode?
All right. All right. What else do we have to wrap up with?
That is it. Anything else?
I think so.
Oh, I got it. Sorry to interrupt. I hate interrupting. Hand up.
You love interrupting. Just say you love it.
I think he's got to buy that Challenge Mania t-shirt and wear it for a pod. The one with the Easter Bunny.
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Wait, what's the Easter Bunny?
Isn't there one with an Easter Bunny or something? Wait.
Who's the Easter Bunny? Is it Derek or?
Yes. I think it is. Wait, what's the pod called? Challenge Maniac? What is it called?
He's holding like the head next to him, right? At his side.
Yes, he's like, is he the Easter Bunny?
I think it was $50.
Who's paying for this shit? Show me the sales. Wait, is it off? It might be off.
Is it not in the store anymore? They sold out? Somebody bought all 3?
I'm pissed. I actually think it's gone.
Well,
Oh,
you can buy. They have like 100 different shirts.
yeah, I'm looking at all of them. I mean,
Isn't there one with like Jimmy and she's holding a bottle of wine or something?
look at this one.
Oh my god! How much is that?
Uh, what's our guess?
$30?
29, yeah.
Oh my god!
That doesn't include sales or
Oh
taxes.
my god!
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. The Easter Bunny.
Yes, look at those idiots.
That's got to be the one, right?
Oh my god! He has to buy that, and I don't even think wear it on the pod. I think he has to wear it in public.
I mean, that is so bad. Oh my god.
That's so bad.
Unbelievable. God, should I? Never mind. This will keep on the low. I was gonna say, actually, should I Photoshop Andy's face on one of the Easter Bunny costumes with Derek?
Please.
Oh my god.
He's not going to listen to this.
God, no. Unbelievable. God, these shirts. I know we do this like once a year. But by God, these are some of the
5 times a
stupidest.
year.
This is some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
All
I
right.
just want to know. I honestly just want to know who's buying this. Please. Like, can you imagine just walking down the like honestly, if I was walking down the street and I saw somebody wearing this, I would literally. You talked about Knight slapping Frank earlier. I would literally do that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, that's it. We've been going on way too long.
We have been.
But you know what? We've been here. We've been here,
and I know last week we thought it was going to be the last week of the last podcast of the year. We got this kind of surprise one. I think this is going to be the last one of the year, and so I think from Trev, myself, the two co-hosts, and all of STP Nation, want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmaka for anybody celebrating Christmaka. We're excited to see you guys all after the new year. Take a nice 2-week break, relax, recharge. We're coming back 2025.
Yeah, absolutely. But hey, if there is a episode next week, we'll be live. Christmas Day special.
Absolutely.
Buckle up. It will be me. It'll be Alex and Fenway. What else is new? So thank you guys for listening to a brand new Stir the Pod podcast show. I've been your host, Trevor. You can follow us on Twitter at Stir the Pod. You can follow us on Instagram at Stir_the_pod. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Shout out Duffy. Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.